Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. Ted Nugent, gun control, and anti-Semitism. It's a topic that I guess it's kind of touchy, but anyway, I came across it last week when I was going through my news feed and I looked on an article where Ted Nugent specifically blamed a lot of gun control, a lot of the gains that gun control has made in the U.S. on certain prominent Jews in the U.S. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this topic is because it actually ties in with why I even studied gun control in the first place. The subject didn't become an interest of mine until 2007. The funny thing is, I was suffering a flu, and decided to look at some footage of the L.A. riots, and somehow gun control popped up, and then there you go. And one of the things I came across was a video. Before I say what the video was, some of the names that Ted Nugent mentioned were Dianne Feinstein, Chuck Schumer, Barbara Boxer, Frank Lautenberg, and I guess nowadays we could look at Rahm Emanuel and infamous Michael Bloomberg. And now the common thread they have is that they're Jewish. Apparently, they're Jewish, and they support gun control. Now the article what he posted online was saying that he compared Jews that support gun control to Nazis during the Holocaust. Now, when I hear comments like that, I don't ask whether the person who made them, I don't outright ask, are they imbecile, are they anti-Semitic, are they sexist, this, that, and the other. First thing I want to know is, all right, does this statement have any teeth? Is there any truth to it? Is there any evidence that can back up the claim that they made? Now, when I first got into the subject of gun control, there was a video I came across, and I tried looking for the video, but I couldn't find it anymore. I kind of wish I saved it. In fact, actually, there were two videos. One of them still is actually on my favorites list. I think it's the first video I ever favorited. The first video I was talking about that I can't find anymore, by Michael Savage. Now, if you don't know who Michael Savage is, he's a radio personality. He's Jewish, and he supports gun rights. Now, he did a video many years ago. I wish I could find the video. He did a video talking about the difference between Orthodox Jews and liberal Jews, or as he called the bagel and lox crowd. And he states that that Orthodox Jews know they know wholeheartedly what the outcome would be if they had no weapons, because time and time again throughout history, Jews have been targeted and have been killed left and right. So, along with other groups, and they and Orthodox Jews made it their point to not be disarmed. In fact, there's the motto of Israel is never again. If it's not the state motto, it's a motto that I know is that's very prominent in Israel. It's never again. They're not gonna. What happened to them during in 1930s and 40s? They're not gonna have it happening again. So they're gonna be armed. And Michael Savage was saying that those Jews know what's up, so they're not gonna let themselves be easy targets. Compare that to the liberal Jews, like I said, as he called the bagel and lox crowd. I always thought that was pretty funny. The names he brought up were Barbara Boxer, Dianne Feinstein, and I remember the way he said it, Chuck Schumer. Yeah, he mentioned those three. And it's funny because those are the same names that Ted Nugent mentioned. Now, one could say that, okay, maybe it's okay for Michael Savage to, he can say that because he's Jewish, which I think that's a stupid argument, because I think if anyone anyone looking from outside in can see that there's something up with any particular group, they should be. I believe they're free to comment on it, especially if there's some teeth to the statements they make. I think there's some teeth to the statements that Ted Nugent had made. I think it is an interesting question. Why are there Jews that support gun control, especially in the U.S.? I asked the same question about why are there blacks that support gun control? Why are there women that support gun control? Why are there? I don't know if there are, but I'm pretty sure that why are there any gays that support gun control? Why do these groups that are quote unquote victims support an idea that they are safer if they're disarmed? It's mind boggling to me. But on this topic, discussing, why are the Jews that support gun control? I don't know, because anything history has shown that is truly worked against them. In fact, even just if you just go in the Bible, it lets you know what the outcome of being disarmed was. If it's in 1 Samuel, when King Saul was preparing to fight against the Philistines, I believe they had invaded. There was a matter of there not being any blacksmiths. There are no blacksmiths in the land, and so the Israelites didn't have any. Only people that had swords were Saul and his, I think it was his son Jonathan. The Philistines did away with blacksmiths, with the Israelites having blacksmiths, because they were to make because that was a key source to making weapons. Not just that, but if they wanted to have their sickles, their shears, their mattocks, their mattocks sharpened, they had to take it to a Philistine blacksmith who would charge them a high price to have the work done. I think that was a way of discouraging them from making weapons or turning their farm implements into weapons. And so, if you go back, if any Jewish person were to go back to that section of their history, they can see that it was looked down upon. Being disarmed was looked down upon. Even in the story in the book of Nehemiah, when the Jews were rebuilding the wall, after they rebuilt the temple, they were going to rebuild the wall. They did it in 52 days. Now there was a worry. There was concern about being attacked from outsiders. So they had Nehemiah. He instituted there would be guards along certain sections of the wall that were being built. But while the wall was being built, everyone wanted to have a sword. Everyone was to carry a weapon with them. But it didn't matter if they were going to gather water or go to sleep. Every man and woman had a sword to dispel, so that if there was ever an attack, an alarm was sounded, and they can drop what they're doing and they'll be armed and ready. Now you think that a group that has had a history of being brutalized, being tyrannized, would see the advantage of there being widespread personal armaments. But for some reason, there are some Jews in the U.S. who think otherwise. And like I said, it's a mystery to me. And Ted Nugent brought the question up, and he compared Jews that support gun control to like being the Nazis, like the Nazis in the Third Reich. And I say, well, is there teeth to it? Is there teeth to those statements? Well, we all know that the Nazis they had firearm registration, which then led to Jews not being able to have knives, not having any sharp objects in their possession. And we saw what the outcome of that was, along with other undesirable groups. So I think there's teeth to the statements that Ted Nugent has made. Now, mind you, I'm not a member of the NRA. I can't remember the last time I listened to Cat Scratch Fever, but I can say that his statements did interest me. As also the second video that I watched, along with Michael Savage, and like I said, this video is on my favorite list. Is Jackie Mason, the comedian Jackie Mason, discussing gun control. And like I say, he's another Jewish individual, and he discusses the outright foolishness of gun control. And I thought his video was so funny and interesting. I said, I'm gonna save this video because I think it was a joy to watch. But please tell me what you think. Do you think that also before I go, I don't think what he said was anti-Semitic. If anything, I think it was a question to challenge the ideas that a lot of Jews have. I think the same question could be asked of any group. Like I said, if any group that has had a history of being victimized or believes itself to be victims, why would it want to be victims any longer through being disarmed. So I'd say Ted Nugent posts he made some valid points. He made some things that are worth considering, worth finding out. You know, you guys have any answers out there? You know, please let me know. What do you think? Do you think Ted Nugent was right? Do you think he's anti-Semitic? Do you think I'm anti-Semitic for even supporting, or claiming or saying that his claim has some teeth to it? Tell me what you think. Please make a video response or leave some comments in the comment section. You got any gripes, complaints, hate mail, anything like that? Just send me a PM. And I'll see what I can do to address it. I'm trying to laugh too hard, but what do you expect from a coon? But that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please look forward to new videos. I've been working a whole lot. Let's see if I can get more stuff. Get more stuff put out there. But that's my video. Ted Nugent, gun control and anti-Semitism. I'm Edward Jones, and thanks for watching.